Releasing on the 26th of March, Fife Circle is the third Scottish route to be made for Train Sim World, after Glasgow to Edinburgh and Cathcart Circle. I remember being quite interested in this route, but set my expectations very low because of Rivet Games' past of releasing questionable quality add-ons. I'm sort of happy to say that, as a too long didn't read summary, the route is alright, as is the Class 170. And it's not as bad as the preview showed, but there are still improvements that need to be made, especially as this route costs a good price of $29.99. Youch! We'll see if that's even worth that price tag, and whether this route isn't actually as bad as it looked. Let's just get on with it now, shall we? I think the best way I can describe this route is that it looks okay, in quotation marks. It's 52 miles altogether and non-linear, which is a big yes from me to Train Sim World. The line between Markinch and Inverkeven is probably the best part of the route scenery-wise. The coast looks really nice, as does parts of the landscape, but the Glen Rose to Fortin line is a pretty meh part of the route. It's not bad looking, but it's not outstanding either. The most polite way of putting it is that it's okay. It doesn't want to make me gouge my eyes out, apart from this part near Glen Rose, so that's something. The Fourth Bridge is modelled well, and it's definitely a highlight of this route. Unfortunately, the area near Gateway suffers from being extremely plain looking. It just, where's the airport? How did you miss that out? I don't have much else to say scenery wise. The section between Haymarket and Waverley is ripped from Glasgow to Edinburgh, but it looks alright enough. As I said before, the scenery is just okay, with areas for improvement, but station wise, it's a very mixed bag. We'll shoot through some of the honourable mentions. Waverley is copy-pasted from Glasgow to Edinburgh. Even with the 801 and 385 layers, it's still really quiet. Gateway is alright, although the tram area is lacking OHLE. How was that missed out? Dalmeny and North Queensferry are nice, especially when you can see the bridge from both stations. That's actually pretty cool. Inverkeven and the Glen Rose branch, station-wise, are all okay. I don't really have much else to say. Burnt Island looked very bad in the preview, but I can confirm that right now, it actually looks okay. If only it wasn't having an identity crisis. Can't seem to figure out if it's actually Burnt Island or Glasgow Queen Street. Oof. Kinghorn is my favourite station on the network. Being near a cliffside, the scenery, it just looks really good. Kirkcaldy and Markinch are okay. However, the bridge there at Markinch looks way too low. I'm not sure if it's like that in real life, but it just looks a bit off. Overall, the route and stations, against all expectations, look okay, with a few minor and major nitpicks here and there. Good job, Rivet. This is much better compared to the preview, but a route needs a train to be good as well. And this comes with the Class 170. And this has been the long-awaited train for Train Sim World. But is it good? The Class 170 in Train Sim World is modelled really well, for the most part. The exterior and interior model's decent, as is the cab. I think they've done a good job with the modelling. However, we need to address the headlights. The variant we have here, the 170/4, which is a 3-car variant, consists of what I like to call Phase 1 and Phase 2 headlights. Phase 1 has separate taillight clusters, while Phase 2 has the newer headlights with tail lights activated in them. I bring this up because ScotRail operate both headlight types on their 170s. For some reason though, Rivet have only scanned the newer headlights. Another Train Sim World tradition lives on, screwing up the headlights of a subclass. It's not a major deal, but comparing them to real life scenes, it just looks off to only have the Phase 2 headlights in game. And the PIS is wrong. I don't think an explanation is needed. These comparisons can speak for themselves. But, of course, we can't forget about the sounds. the most part, the sounds are alright. The acceleration, the horn, I think it sounds decent enough. However, as soon as you get up to over 90 miles an hour, it sounds bloody cursed. If you really think that it sounds like an elephant in the cab at that speed, dear Lord help us all. But apart from that, the sounds are tolerable. And the physics as well are pretty decent. It accelerates pretty good, it brakes pretty good. There's not really much else I have to say. Good job, Rivet, you've actually made a decent train. However, we need to address a big problem with the route. And that's the timetable. 164 playable services, and half of them are only for the 170. The other half are for the 385, which doesn't even come with the route. There are missing services in this timetable, which is frankly really bad. Where are the services that terminate at Cowdenheath? Why are there missing Glen Road services via the main line? Why can't we run ECSs to Haymarket Depot when it is right next to the line west of Haymarket? For you to not include any ECS moves to a depot is frankly inexcusable when it's right next to the main line. And as for other missing services, if the idea was to have the 158 fill in for that, then here's a very reasonable suggestion. 2 separate timetables! One for the 170 and one for the 170 and 158. The East Coastway does it with the 313. Why can't you do it for 5? I know I'm making a big deal out of the timetable, but the lack of ECS moves and missing trains isn't something that I can just overlook. And I hope that this is at least sorted with the 158. Let's just say the timetable could be better. So, what do I think overall? Compared to the majority of their content, I can salute Rivet and say, good job! You managed to at least let me raise my expectations of you. I think the route is just okay. It definitely isn't $29.99 okay, especially given lack of oversight on thinking Burnt Island is Glasgow, the barren plains near Gateway, and the barren timetable. However, 52 miles, the entire circle to Mark Kinch, and a decent, but could be better, rendition of the Class 170 is all done to a level where I can half respect it. But I would still wait for a sale, or at least until the 158 arrives, or until a patch comes. But hey, I have expectations, that's just my opinion. I won't kill you for it. But I'm happy that I gave it a fair chance, because I got to realise it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I hope that Rivet know not to preview older dev builds next time they don't want to blow it in their faces again. Do I like Rivet? Still a no. They're going to have to keep on improving to get my respect. Because I'm not asking for perfection. I just want their stuff to be decent. And not like West Cornwall local. But anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed my terrible voiceover and happy late Easter. Because I'm behind on making this. Have a good one, and I'll see you around.